welcome you all back into another interesting tutorial, and in case you are seeing me for the first time, this is a concept. Today we shall be making this beautiful long sleeve, and the materials needed are my long sleeve, this African print for the main fabric, and this is my lining. This is shiny satin. You can use doll face satin if you want. The last but not the least is my interfacing. This interfacing is called woven interfacing. It has shiny bit at the front and the back is plain. Okay, another thing about this interfacing is very hard. When I squeeze it, it bounces back. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the working table. To make this stylish sleeve, the first thing to consider is your basic sleeve. Here with me, I've cut out my basic sleeve, and if you are struggling on how to cut your basic sleeve, I've made a video on that. Endeavor to watch it and you will understand it better. Okay, now the next thing I did after cutting it, I went ahead and folded the right side inside into two equal parts. I also went ahead and gave it a good press to flatten it down and to give it creeps in the middle. The creeps is going to serve as a guide while placing the cones on the long sleeve. Okay, the second stage is to take the African print, spread it out like this, and fold the right side inside like this. Then fold it again, exactly same way we fold our full circle. Okay, after folding it from this pointed edge, don't take it from the opening part, take it from the pointed edge. Okay, so I will measure down 4.5 inches, 4 inches for the length of the cone and half an inch for allowance. Okay, this is it. I will place it exactly 4.5 inches and I will take it round till I form a full circle. So this is it. After forming the full circle, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Make sure you cut behind the lines. Now we have our full circle. I'll fold it back and place it on the satin fabric. This is my satin fabric. Same way I folded the African print, same way I'll be folding the satin fabric. I'll fold it into two equal parts, then fold it again. The African print will serve as my template. Make sure the opening side, this part, matches each other, while the folded edge here must align on each other. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place my pin on it to secure it. Then the next thing is to cut it out. After cutting this, what we have now, we have two circles. The next thing to do is to fold the African print back, the right side inside this way, then slit it into two equal parts. There's it. After cutting it, I have my interfacing here. I'll place one of the circle, half of the circle, I'll place it. You will cut out the circle without slitting it into two equal parts. I'm doing this to manage my interfacing. Okay, so after placing the fabric on the interfacing, I use my pin to secure the fabric on the interfacing. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Right, after cutting it, this is what I have. This is my interfacing, exactly the shape of the circle. Okay, for the satin, which is for the lining, I've also slitted it into two equal parts. Okay, so all together for the cones, I'll be having a 7. Okay, it's between 6 and 7. Okay, you could do 6 or you could do 7. I've already cut out 2 so I have 5 to go, making 7. I'll go ahead and spread out the half of the circle. This is it, the right side facing my working table, and this is the wrong side. So I'll place the shiny part of the interfacing, I'll place it on the wrong side of the satin, center to center. Give it a good press. After ironing this, what I have, so I'll go ahead and place the main fabric on it, right side facing each other. Next thing is to stitch it down, and I'll be taking you guys along with me. Right, to stitch it, I'll be stitching it up from where the interfacing is. Okay, So I'll place it on my machine and go in by 1/4. The next thing is to notch it, and when you are notching it, make sure you don't cut through the stitching line. Okay, after notching it, I'll go ahead and turn it inside out with a good press again. After ironing it, I'll go ahead and fold it into 2 equal parts. I'll take it back to my sewing machine and stitch it again. From this upper part, I'll go in by 1/4, which is 0.25. So when I get to this down part, I'll go in by 3/4, which is 0.75. Trim it off the down part. So the next thing is to turn the cone inside out. To poke out the edge of the cone, you could use your scissors to do that. You can also use your pen. After poking it out, this inside, we have our cone now. This is it. It's looking beautiful, right? So I'll go ahead and do the rest, then come back to show you how to attach it to the sleeve. Voila, our cones are ready now. As you can see, they are looking cute. Right, the next thing is to take my sleeve. I've placed my sleeve on my table, and this is the right side. Like I said, this is the center. Let me use chalk so that you'll be able to see it properly. Okay, so this is the center. So on this cap, on the cap sleeve, because the cap sleeve will be going into the bodice, okay, so just mark half an inch. You mark half an inch. You leave this half an inch will be for allowance to stitch the sleeve to the bodice. Okay, after that, the next thing is to attach our beautiful cone. In fact, I'm loving it. Okay, so you place it on the part where the half an inch ends. Okay, exactly on the line or behind the line. Okay, just let me turn it this way so that you see it properly. So this is the line. I'll place the pointed part behind the line of the cap height. Okay, as you can see, the center of the cone is exactly on the midpoint of the sleeve. Just use your machine to hold it here if you can. Okay, so the next one is you use your needle and thread to tack it. Okay, after tacking this down, you place the second one. Okay, you make sure the cone head goes in by 1 inch on the first one. Okay, then tack it down, and when you get to the wrist, okay, make sure you leave your allowance. If you are left 1 inch allowance, make sure you stop 1 inch away. Okay, like mine now, I have 1 inch, so I will just fold this part inside. Okay, you could do that before you start placing the cone. Okay, after setting it, the next thing is to attach the cones to the sleeve, and there are 2 different methods to achieve it. Okay, the first one is to use needle and thread. Okay, that is using your hand to tack it down, while the second one is to use the glue gun. Okay, you melt the glue and place it on the part where the joining will be coming in. Okay, so with that, you are good to go. But for me, I will not be using glue gun. I'll be using my hand to tack it because I don't want to ruin these beautiful cones. All right, so after that, I'll come back and show you how to close up this. Right, we are almost at the end of this tutorial, and to me, I'm just feeling myself. It's as if the tutorial should not end. What about you? This is how it's looking. Like I said, I use my hand to tack it down. And the next thing is to attach it to your sleeve. If you are doing it right away, all you have to do is to join the cap sleeve, the half an inch left, you join it to the armhole. Okay, so after joining it, you match the 2 sides of the sleeve together like this, and run your stitch on your allowance. Run it down to the hem of the sleeve, and when you are done, you turn the inside out. That is, you turn it inside out. And before I do that, I just want to say thank you for watching to the end, and I hope this video has been a great help. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Feel free to drop your question if you have any, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't joined this great family, kindly click, if you have not done so, on the red subscribe button, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Okay, immediately you start watching, just press the thumb up, okay, to encourage me to do more. Thank you guys, I love you. Right, after stitching it, this is it. So I'll go ahead and turn it inside out. This is our sleeve now. Don't laugh at me. I will demonstrate how it's going to look on the mannequin's hands. Okay, so this is the mannequin. So guys, it's already on my mannequin's hand, and this is how it's looking. I'll go ahead and join it to the bodies and show you the finished look.